Welcome to another episode of Halftime Adjustments. I'm here with my man G Witt and my other fella Jay Little. What's going on, fellas? Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Fellas, welcome back, man. Off the bye week. We all took a bye week this past weekend. How y'all doing, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well.
Doing okay.
I feel rested too.
You feel rested too. Right. Hope everybody got some rest, man. But come on in and join us tonight as we're gonna break down this Week 14 matchup against these Jacksonville Jaguars. A tough game, any way you look at it. A welcome bye week for the two-tone blue to get the juices back flowing and get a little healthier, and a much needed bye week, like I said. Coming in facing a Jags team that's 2-10 with 4 straight losses, but as we know, they were capable of an upset win, as we saw over the Buffalo Bills just a few weeks ago. And so, and for the Titans, I'm optimistic, right? You got some key members that came back this week: Julio Jones, Rashad Evans, Jerry McNichols, Cruikshank, and Race McMath. So the optimism for this team is starting to get a little higher as they come out of the bye week with a few more people healthy. And then you got a boost to the confidence when you heard a little bit about Derrick Henry and the progress that he's making off of his injury. And, the word is right now, and it's we'll wait and see that he could be back in time to start the playoffs. And so, plus, fellas, this week we pick up a big free agent waiver and Zach Cunningham from the Houston Texans. Not understanding why the Texans cut him. Okay, he might have an issue with timing, but for him it's a boost. For them, it's a big loss. But after all of that, fellas, results: Titans 20, Jags 0. And Jay Little, will come to you first this week, man. Give me your first reactions after that dub from today.
Yeah, so the thing you heard from Vrabel and the whole staff and the players was, this week was about getting back to the basics. Tannehill had about 3 or 4 plays that showed me they were getting back to the basics, where 2-3 weeks ago he would have tried to force it, and he took some check downs today. Right. When you start looking at his stats, man, 191 yards passing, kind of efficient, but I mean, we did more check downs. We did not take any long shots, and there were several times when wide receivers were open. Now, granted, that offensive line was, I think they took a step backwards today. And again, I'm going to chalk that up to it's been, we look at it, about 3 or 4 weeks since the starting 5 had played. I know Davis was back today. So, and then Saffold was back to his weekly getting injured per game. But overall, I think that you see after the bye, the defense is the side of the ball that really got healthier. They looked fast. I mean, your boy Danico, first play of the game. Come on, man. First play of the game. So they looked faster. It's amazing with what signing. Well, it's amazing what Rashad Evans coming back did to the linebacking core, and it's amazing what signing Cunningham did. Because I think both Evans and Jayon realized, they really got our replacements here now. We've got to elevate our game. And I think you saw that Jayon was just a little bit more comfortable with his old running mate, Evans, back there. I think they both look good. Evans brought back something that the team was missing in tackling. We've been struggling tackling with him out and with Long out, and I thought they played well. So overall, I thought the defense played magnificent. Is it Scrine? The Scrine, heck of a pickup. I mean, he filled in perfectly for the Jackrabbit today, and I just think that the defensive side of the ball really got in the meeting room over the break and schemed up some stuff. We saw we saw several zero blitz today.
Hey,
and I do mean several zero blitz. What? So it was good to see that. So overall, the offense to me was one that conservative style offenses, but in a game like this, you don't really mind seeing that because you didn't want to give Jacksonville a chance to be back in this game. I was glad we should have put it away earlier. I think it took too long to really put it away. This was one of those games I was telling my brother we go to the game. It's one of those boring Titan games that it was nice to sit there and be bored, because usually the Titans got you ready to have a heart attack or whatnot. But I mean, I never felt even at halftime that the Jaguars had a chance, because they definitely have already melted in. So that's kind of some of my observations from the team today.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on the defensive side of the ball. I thought they played pretty much lights out. I mean, James Robinson's really burned them the first game back in October.
Mm-hmm.
They made sure that wasn't going to happen today. The last stat I saw, Jacksonville had 8 rushes for 9 yards.
That was it.
So when you shut down the running game in that manner, then you automatically know that it's going to be tough. And they made them one-dimensional. And bless his heart, Lawrence just had a hard time, man. Like you said, Nico hit him first play. And then from then on, it was like everybody was coming at him. And, he give him his credit. He's a fighter, man. But, he just really doesn't have anything going on right now. Mm-hmm. Our offense, I understand what they were doing, going conservative. I didn't like it. And here's my problem with it. I don't mind conservatism in your offense, but when you get in the red zone, you got to score.
Yes.
And the bottom line is our scores, put like this, our touchdowns, as one fan told me, they all look like mistakes. They weren't supposed to happen.
That's the good way to put it.
Especially the one with Tannehill, where the play just broke down and he just ran it in. Todd Downing really, really took a step back. I'm not sure what's going on with him and his play calling when they get in the red zone, but it's like from 20 to 20, he calls a fairly decent game, but then he gets inside the red zone and it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to call. I don't know what play to run. I don't have, and the thing that probably drove me more crazy than anything else, he had absolutely no feel for the game. None.
Zero.
None. And I was like, okay, this is not going to be good if we got an offense that cannot score. I don't care about Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown being out. You still got to be able to score. And the only way you're scoring is on busted plays. That's not going to cut it, because you get ready to go to Pittsburgh and they ain't going to give you any busted plays. They're just not coming off a bye week, not with Mike Tomlin coaching them. So Todd Downing definitely has taken a step back. That offensive line has taken a step back. I'm going to have to disagree with you, Mr. J. Lou. I don't care if they haven't been together in 5 weeks. There were too many free rushers coming through that offensive line.
Several.
Way too many free rushers. Some of it, like I said, some of it was on Tannehill. Some of it was on the play calling. Some of it was on receivers not reading what was going on. I mean, that last sack he took, I'm like, dude, they're coming. Somebody's got to break open quick. And instead, he's back there trying to find somebody who's going like 10 yards down the field. You ain't got that kind of time. Running game was okay. I thought Todd Downing's play calling on running games was just horrendous. I mean, you're going with these tight formations, one receiver sets, and then you bring you put the extra tight end and a receiver on one side. You automatically are letting everybody know that's the side we're running to. And they just flow to that side and stopped it for like a 1 yard game or no game or 2 yard loss or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I am totally disappointed in Todd Downing and his play calling. It was horrible. And I'm just going to call it like it is. I understand conservative game calling. I agree with it. I thought they did a good job getting Tannehill in a rhythm. But the bottom line was, you got in the red zone, man. You couldn't even create an opportunity for a touchdown. You just couldn't.
Yeah. Okay. So here's mine, because I'm gonna be a little different than both of y'all, I guess. But anyway, so my first one, I'm gonna say, why was Julio not on the field at the end of the first half? What I'm texting Jay Lou. I'm actually text both of y'all, and I'm like, is he hurt? And Jay Lou said, no, he's standing beside Downing on the sideline.
Hey, put it this way, so Ed, the games early in the year when he's had the hamstring problems, his body language, you could tell it on the sideline.
Yeah, right.
This time he looked like the person who was like, why am I not in the game? Like his body language was more of an angry body language on the sideline.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm like, you got your best receiver that's finally healthy and he's not even in the game. Right. And you obviously trying to get at least 3 more points because you come out in shotgun. So, but you got your best receiver on the sideline. I mean, that's this. And so let's get to Downing, because I thought the offense was too vanilla, in my opinion. you know, he did a lot of run pass. It was very obvious what was coming. Now he did move the pocket every once in a while, but he didn't do it enough. Okay, and then you know, the screen plays, they were actually there today. You know, Tannehill, for whatever reason, sometimes he had a lot of pressure in his face right off the bat. Sometimes he just overthrew Swain in the end zone. I think he had a bad day too because he held the ball a little bit too long, like you said, at times. And then he looked like, and here's the other problem here's the problem that they have on blitzes is that the receivers are not running hot routes. I don't know if that's part of the game plan
at all.
because there's no slants, there's no hitches, there's nothing. I mean, they're still running 5 to 7 yards downfield. And the blitz, I mean, they're running cover zero, right?
Yes, right.
And I'm like, you don't have a receiver that can get loose? And it doesn't have to be Julio Jones.
Right.
You didn't even have a tight end that could break loose.
No. And you know, and I'm thinking a team like Jacksonville, I just kept thinking, you know, Jacksonville the first time. And I thought the Jets and I thought the Texans. When you play a team like this, man, you got to ramp it up and put them away early.
Yes.
Right? You got to put your foot on their neck and you got to just put them away early because as long as they stay in the game, it was still 10-0 from the majority of the game. And they still got confidence that they can play in this game. And so, you know, I didn't like that part of it. I didn't have a comfortable feeling, although the defense was dominant, like you guys said. I don't think he ran enough cover zero blitz, J. Lou. He ran a bunch of it in the second half. First half, though, I thought they gave him a little bit too much time in the pocket. You know, he got happy with that 4-man rush. Although they were getting to him just a little bit, I think he had a little bit too much time to throw the ball. And I think somebody mentioned it. The health of this football team is going to be critical because you see just with the few players we got back today, what difference it made. Yeah, Cruciate back on special teams. You know, Rashad Evans looked like Rashad Evans that we've seen early in his career. And, you know, I just like what I saw. Jeffrey Simmons got a little dinged up on that one play. He dove out to Lawrence, like he hurt his back or whatnot. But, you know, he didn't really have an issue with him. You know, Rashad. And so, but anyway, you know, that was my first reaction, guys. You know, good to take the win, but again, there's some things that we need to work on. We kind of, and then looking at the offenses, breaking it down, talked about it too stagnant. Oh, talking about the run game, G-Wit, to your point, I thought the offensive line actually blocked a little bit better. The problem was the running backs missing the holes. I don't know if y'all could have seen it.
Yeah, I think what hurt that is when the fullback got hurt. Because if you go back to the beginning of the game when we had the fullback, he was doing what fullbacks are supposed to do. Right. And I think the running game was working. And then you realize when he went out, we might as well just face facts. We don't have a tight end H-back that can block outside of a fullback.
Blastengang was inactive today.
And Blastengang was inactive. So we tried to go single back, to your point, and it was too obvious. We bring the tight end to the strong side, bring the wide receiver, everybody flow that way. We get a 2 yards in a cloud of dust. So I think once the fullback got hurt, I think that's when you saw the downfall of the running game near the second half.
Right. And you know, he actually got pulled out because he missed a hole or two a few times, and poor Deontay Foreman tried to Henry Griffin.
Oh my God!
Yes, Foreman got hurt. I was like, hey man, you stick to your game, bud.
Yes.
But I didn't think it was enough Julio, guys, for the offense. I just don't think he only had 6 targets today. And that just goes back to why he was on the sideline during a critical time of the game, in my opinion. You know, and why not get him the ball more? He's obviously healthy because he looked like it, right?
Yeah. And again, I think I would say this. I have to agree with Jay Lou. I think they were monitoring his snaps and they just wanted not to let him get. It's one of those things where you see, you know, if you're thinking like, Vrabel, we got the game in hand, you know, keep him out, keep him fresh because we're going to need him against Pittsburgh because you still don't have A.J. Brown. You won't have A.J. Brown until at the earliest for the 49ers.
Right.
So he's got to play against Pittsburgh. But, you know, again, it was just tied down. His play calling was horrendous today. It was just horrible. I mean, it was just bad.
You out of the 30 targets, 12 of them went to tight ends. That's all you need to hear about the offense. That's all you need to hear.
Well, you know that because overall, 21 of them went to tight ends
and running backs.
That's right. That's right. And I understand that, fellas. I do, and I'm not disagreeing with you guys on that. But here's my thing: if you've already had an issue with developing chemistry with Julio Jones,
yes,
how you gonna get it?
Yeah.
And quiet as it's kept, there were several times that he was one-on-one coverage with only one single high safety.
That's just my point, man.
That should be automatic.
Right.
Yes.
Just for example, look at the corner route he runs. He fakes the post route. He goes the corner route. He kills the DB and catches the ball for a 12-yard gain, first down. Yep. So again, that's all day, right? That's all day. I'm just saying, you know, but who am I? So, you know, Tannehill, although he was efficient, man, like I said, he missed some throws, held the ball a little long, 20 or 31, 191 yards, and a rush TD.
Taking too many hits, man.
Yeah. Way too many hits. Way
too many free shots.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rodney. We should be they should be using Michael Pruitt a little bit more often. I agree. But I will say this, guys, and I want to hear your opinion on this. We did have a sighting today of Ferkster. For once in I might be the first time this season.
Once in 14 weeks or 13 weeks, however many weeks it is.
That he actually had, I'm gonna say, a decent game. I'm not gonna say it was a great game. It was a decent game because he dropped one. He dropped.
Yes, he did. He did. He did a good job. Most of his catches was sitting in the zone. And again, that's why I think that they went into the week with Tannehill's turned the ball over 9 times the past 2 games, trying to force it. We're not forcing none today because you saw more check downs and more conservative passes than we've seen. And to your point, we've got to maybe this was a game to just build Tannehill's confidence back up some. Who knows to get him in there, but because I mean it's the amount. I mean, we didn't even. Nick Westbrook was quiet today. And there were several times he was up and he was quiet today. So, I mean,
you stop to think about it, man. You look at the time of possession that we had, the number of plays that we run.
That's right.
And we didn't even have 300 yards of offense.
No, not even close.
Not even close. I'm looking at them like, this is ridiculous. They ran less plays, had less time with the ball, and their offense almost generated as much as we did.
Man. I'm gonna tell you
that's just how crazy that offensive play calling was. And you telling Tannehill take the check downs, be conservative, that's fine and good. But I go back to my original statement. We can't score.
No,
that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Were we 0 for 4? Or did we just get 1 field goal out of the 4 turnovers today?
One field goal.
3 points off of 4 turnovers.
And that'll get you beat.
2 of those turnovers end up going 3 and out.
3 and out. Yes, 3 and out.
6 to 15 for third down conversions.
Yeah, it's pathetic, really. Like I said, the play calling was just bad. And you get in the red zone, you can't score. You're not going to win many football games. I don't care how great your defense is. And the defense, I thought, played stellar. I mean, and you saw to the point to where they were like, Big Jeff was saying, you ain't running the ball on us this time.
They did.
He just said that, like, you can do what you want to. You may throw it to him, but you ain't running it.
Right.
And I mean, he was stopping them on every play. And I thought they did a good job with the pass rush. Even with 4, I thought they did okay. But again, you just can't go into that every week. You can't have 4 turnovers in a game and only come out with 3 points.
No.
You just can't do that. And that's what I'm saying. The play calling, and it was so, and to your point, it was so vanilla and so predictable. Jacksonville's defense didn't have to work hard to do anything.
No.
And Jacksonville's defense really, in all honesty, they didn't really impress me.
No, and so look at it like this, G. Look at it like this. So think about the first touchdown drive.
Yeah,
roughing a personal foul.
Yeah,
gets the ball downfield, right?
Yeah,
and then you come back. You had a illegal block below the waist on the defense.
Yeah,
another scoring drive. So without the aid of those plays, man, you just don't know what this game would be as far as score wise.
It goes back to what was told to me. The touchdowns look like a mistake. Like it wasn't really supposed to happen, and the OC and Vrabel's going to deny it and going to look at it, and I agree. It sounds crazy, but the bottom line is the way you calling this offense, scoring touchdowns look like a mistake. Look like all you want to do really is get Fat Randy out there to kick field goal, and his confidence is shook.
We're gonna get on. We're gonna get on him and just say,
Yeah.
let's get some of the comments out of the chat. Let's see. Dion says Todd Downing is hot garbage for that very reason. No feel for the game, situation football. And to his point, and somebody else said it later that, it was Eddie Gray. He said Arthur Smith was bad initially. At least he improved as the season went on. Downing hasn't improved at all.
At all.
He is terrible.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Arthur Smith was that bad to begin with.
He wasn't. He just had to learn. I think for Arthur, first of all, you got to think about it this way. He had Mariota at first.
Yeah.
And so he had to change the game. He had to change the scheme somewhat.
Yeah.
Because Mariota's more of a scrambler threat. Now, I'm not saying Tannehill because he can run, but he was more the pocket guy, right? And so he had to change the game. But once he figured it out, to your point, G-Witt, he was great. It took him a few weeks, because we was like, how's he going to adjust when he gets down? How is he going to adjust when teams blitz a lot? But once he figured it out and he got to get everything rolling, it was beauty to see.
And had a good feel for the game.
That's right. That's
exactly what you liked
right.
about it. He had a good feel for the game. Todd Downing has no feel for the game at all.
Dion said Jeff Fisher offense. I agree with you, man.
I was not going to say that.
I knew you would, but he said it for you. He said it for you. And so, the offense, like I said, man, this Deontay Foreman, 13 for 47, one touchdown. Like I said, hurt his elbow, and then 9 different receivers, as you brought up, J. Lou, caught a pass today. The defense, though, I got to give them A+, man. They played lights out. It's not many times in the NFL you get a shutout. I mean, I don't care who it's against. And they gave up 0 points, 4 turnovers, 3 sacks, 192 total yards, and like you mentioned, 8 yards rushing, 184 yards passing. The defense was great, man.
That was the first shutout at home in 21 years.
I was going to bring that up, J. Lou, about how long it's been. So you got to love that, man. It doesn't happen often. But when you get one, it's beautiful.
No, but I'm telling you right now, it's bad, right? With this offense today, and maybe that was their game plan. I don't know. But all I know is we can't score in the red zone. That's all I know.
Big Jeffrey had another pancake today. I don't know if y'all saw it.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, yeah,
that was he pancaked a Pro Bowl offensive guard. Let's bring that up.
And he got a holding call on the same play.
Holding call.
Yeah. Oh, Big Jeff is just the way that he moves 300+ pound men, grown men, man. That's not fair. It shouldn't be fair. I think you saw today again with them, and again we didn't really pick nobody else up on the D line. I mean, Tark was still down and Bud's down, but I felt like we rotated a little bit better on the D line because they just looked fresher. They looked a lot fresher.
Did them a lot of good.
It did them good, and I'll tell you who really impressed me today with his play was Roberson.
Yes.
He was getting, I mean, it seems like he's finally getting healthy, getting in the groove, kind of shook off some of that rust because I thought he was coming off the edge and really did a good job rushing today.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you. He brought a factor in the game that we hadn't had other than Harold Landry from the edge in a while.
Yeah.
And, that change up for him coming in, because, he flashed at his rookie year, if you guys remember, against the Saints. He had 3 sacks against the Saints at home game. And it's good to see him back healthy and coming in and getting some playing time. But to your point, J. Lou, they had a better rotation today, and you saw guys be a little bit more fresh. And Naquan Jones played good again today.
Man, played excellent.
Played. You saw Kevin Strong, you saw Pico, and so you saw a lot of guys rotating in and out, keeping that fresh body on the defensive line, which pays the difference, right, in those games, especially when the team is behind and they're throwing the ball a lot. Jacksonville started to do late in that football game.
I will say this also, and I'm not as hard on him because he's a rookie, but Mouton is gonna have to learn how to time his blitz better, coming off the edge like he was, because a lot of times he ended up
he was in the traffic for no reason. You're absolutely right. Yes,
and I'm like
too little to be in the traffic.
Like, dude, he's not reading right. You're rushing too fast. You're not paying attention to what's going on. You're just rushing in there.
He's giving it away too early.
Yeah,
he is giving it too early.
Think about it. He's got, and again, he's a rookie, so he's got to learn.
Right.
He's got to learn. But he's giving it away too early, and he's going into the trash as soon as he gets in there, so he doesn't even get close. He had one time, if he goes, instead of trying to go around and go, if he goes inside, he's got a sack.
Right.
He's got a sack. But again, he's a rookie, so I give rookies breaks because they're learning the game.
Yeah. See, come on, comments, fellas. The Pittsburgh game would tell us a lot about the play call on offense. I agree with you, Rodney, on that. Brian Grover says
you
the
already
defense
know.
A-, offense defense. Offense is D. Eddie Gray says it's too late in the season for a change at OC. The talent we have on offense is better than how it's produced. Definitely agree with you, man. And there was one more. Oh, yeah, let's talk about this for a minute. Gian says, you think Ray was going to address the anemic offense this week? No, you're not.
No.
You know why he's not? Because he doesn't do that. He
doesn't do that.
The bus.
Yeah, he sure don't. Yeah.
No. Nah, he won't do that. He may address it in the meeting room, but he won't address it publicly at all.
Right.
You know,
Somebody
if
said
you ask him about it, he might walk off the podium again.
No, man.
Right. He got mad last week. Will says there was an ESPN article saying that Donnie is a potential head coach.
It was. That was. I read that last week.
Good
Yeah,
riddance.
it was laughable. Yeah.
I see. Eddie Gray said, "How's this money going to work for the defense?" Big Jeff, J.I., and now Cunningham. Cunningham signed through 24.
Yeah.
And that
and Cunningham's contract that everybody was scared of. It only goes into effect if he's on there in March. Then does that $10 million injury bonus kick in? And the Titans aren't in bad cap situations next year. I mean, people forget Julio's technically signed through next year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can always restructure Taylor Lewan and I think you'll see them. Yeah. You'll see them restructure him, and you'll see them restructure Ryan Tannehill because his quarterback money will balloon. But money wise, I think the cap right now they got it estimated to go up to about $206 million. So the Titans are 2.8, so they'll be in some good shape for that.
So thank y'all again for joining us for another episode of Halftime with Jeff. Let me tell y'all something real quick about J. Lou. J. Lou is an agent. All right. So that's why I go to him for the breakdown of these contracts, because he knows the business. I'm telling y'all.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling y'all. He's just not an active agent, but he's an agent. So
yes, sir.
Anything about that cap you want to know. Man, y'all get y'all questions to J. Lou about that for real.
But I will say this though, since you brought him up, the Zach Cunningham signing, but to me, that's just a thing of beauty, you know. And my thinking, in all honesty, Zach Cunningham really wanted out of Houston.
Who doesn't want out of Houston?
I mean,
right
now?
But I mean, I was talking about him, disciplinary reasons, being late for meeting or whatever the case may be. He's like, I just need to be out of here. So he's gone, and like I said, my thing about signing him, it just beefs up our run defense.
Yeah,
it really beefs up our run defense.
And you got a linebacker. You said it this week, G Witt, this week, that you have a linebacker that can play all 3 downs, all 4 downs now.
Yes.
I mean, he can drop back in coverage, he can tackle, as you know. And man, it just so somebody's not going to get to play.
No, they're not. That's exactly what.
That's why you see Rashad Evans, J.I. Brown playing.
That's why they played how they did today. Because we know who's in that room with us now, that position room.
Dion says he didn't mean in front of the media. He meant in the coach's meeting room. He should. I hope.
I think he would. I think he will.
Right. If he's the coach like he's supposed to be, he should actually address that after the game today. Yes. That's what he should have did. Of not doing the game. Like, what are y'all doing? But I'm gonna have to say this too about that defense, man. And I know y'all saw it. They confused Trevor Lawrence so bad when the Jalen Brown pick. Oh, that was a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
Zero formation, right?
Yeah.
They bring the outside guy, and it might have been Molden, it might have been Byron. I can't remember who it was. But Jayon Brown engages the guard, then he drops back. It wasn't Byron because Byron was in coverage. But man, that was a thing of beauty. That reminded me of some Dick LeBeau stuff right there.
Oh yeah. Hey, I another play you point out talking about Byard. I thought he had a great recovery on that trick play.
Yeah, he did.
The fleet. I mean, that's a great recovery on that, because you usually see plays like that hit real big when you got all that eye candy going on in the back room, and I think back hallway there. I think he just did a great play on that. So I think again overall, man, it looks like the bye week really did this defense got away and did them some good because they came back and they're playing like they were playing at the beginning of the year.
J. Lou, the vacation, man. They got to
the vacation.
Yeah, the vacation.
hey, but I would say this also. Special teams play. I thought
go right
kick
ahead.
coverage was a lot better again.
Yes.
McMahon.
Racing McMahon.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, when he's in there, the kick coverage is a lot better. Now, what we're hurting is punting and kicking field goals, man.
Man, that's what I was
well,
talking about.
To be fair to him today, because I had to look to not Fat Randy, but to Kern. I had to look because I was like, wait a minute, Kern's just not this terrible.
Right.
I don't think you realize until you look at you can't look at the goalpost flags. You look at the flags on the top of the most of his kicks was into the wind, except for I think the very last one when he put it about on the 15 or 14. I was like, okay, that's the Kern we know. So I think he was stretching a little bit. The wind probably was a bigger factor than we think. But to your point, you said earlier, G-Wit, I was glad to see Randy get his kick back that he got. But when he kicked the first field goal he missed, I knew he missed it when he kicked it because it just didn't even sound good coming off his foot. So you're hoping you can get his confidence going back. Yeah. Now, I will say on the silver lining, it was good to see him make the extra points because those have been a struggle too. But I thought, G-Wit, you've been talking about it since preseason. You've been on the Cruikshank band. You've been on Racing McMath, and I think having both of them back, the coverage was beyond excellent. And then you actually got to see number 53 Cole, linebacker, who didn't have to play much linebacker. He had to play linebacker a lot this week. Right. You saw him, what he brings to the special teams unit. So I thought the coverage actually got better today.
Yeah, and I think with like you mentioned, the Cole, and you got Cruikshank back, and you got Dunsbar, and then Carter until he went down. You got those guys. Those guys are some good special teams players.
Yes.
And then you add Racing McMath to that mix, because he's a special teams guy as well. You got guys that can run, that can tackle, they can really get downfield and contain the return. And so like you mentioned, man, Kern, he was 5 for 38, 5 punts for 38-yard average. But again, like you said, J. Lou, it was kicking into a wind. And that wind, if anybody knows in that stadium, that wind blows awfully hard.
Yes. Like literally, when you wouldn't think the wind was affecting until you looked up. I was like, oh, wait a minute, them flags on the top of the stadium, that American flag's blowing a little harder than you think, filling it down there.
Because the flags on the goalpost
wasn't moving at all. No, it wasn't hardly moving at all.
But I just thought, in all honesty, because I was watching Kern warming up after halftime when he came out, and in the game he kicked the same way.
Yeah, he didn't look good. He didn't look good.
It was the exact same way. And I was looking at him like, man, this is not good. This is not normal for him. So I didn't know. It's like, okay, are you hurt? What's going on? The wind kind of makes a little sense and everything, but I was just concerned. I was just looking at that because I was like, this is not who we're used to seeing.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's not who we're used to seeing. So I was surprised by that. And like I said, Fat Randy just disappointed me when he missed that field goal. But to your point, J. Lou, you knew as soon as it came off his foot. No. The question I had when he missed that kick was like, is it even gonna make it to the goalpost?
That's exactly what I said. Was it even gonna make it to the goalpost?
Right, and then that questions the decision by Vrabel to punt it on fourth down 3.
Yes,
on the Jacksonville side of the 50. I'm like, man, just go for it right there.
Yes,
so you didn't want Randy to kick another field goal at that point. No. I didn't either go in that direction. So I thought they should have went for it and then really put the pressure on Jacksonville, but. A win is a win. We'll take it. And a shutout is a shutout. It doesn't happen often. 21 years since the last one for this team at home. And so if you look at the AFC South standings after week 14, the Titans are 9-4. The Colts were on the bye week this week, 7-6. So we got a 2-game lead over them. The Texans and the Jags are officially eliminated after today. Texans 2-10, Jags are 2-11. And then if you look at the current playoff standings, not much has really changed for the two-tone blue. It's sitting right behind New England at 9-4. Kansas City is now 9-4. Kansas City has gotten hot. Baltimore
defense has turned it on.
Yeah, their defense. That's the difference. The defense is really playing. They put up 49 on the Raiders today.
Yeah, they spanked them.
Baltimore, they are going to have some problems because Lamar Jackson went down today. Not really sure his extent. You got the Chargers sitting at 5. You got Cincinnati at 7-5. They actually going into overtime against the 49ers. Not really sure where that game is right now. Last time I checked. Buffalo sitting at 7-5 with the Colts in 8 and the Browns in 9. Like I said, the Colts had a bye week, but they have the Patriots next week. Big matchup there. And fellas, we got to go to Heinz Field and take on the Pittsburgh Steelers next week. And they're 6-1. And if you saw that game Thursday night, you thought that they were going to get blazed when they came out. And, you know, granted, Pittsburgh is a tough football team, but, you know, and I was talking to somebody, and to me, they're just too loyal to some of their players. Because Big Ben, he probably should have been gone last year, after last year. We saw it last year, J. Lou. We talked about it on the midweek heat, how that arm had just flailed off and what he looks like now. But, again, they're still fighting for their playoff lives. They're sitting 10th right now. End up losing 36-28 to the Vikings. And so let's talk about this game, man, because it's going to be a tough football game. Although Pittsburgh is not looking like the Pittsburgh we've come to know over the past 10 to 15 years, as long as the head coach has been there. His name just slipped my mind off.
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin. Thank you very much, fellas. But the keys to victory, Jay Lou, give me some for next week against this tough Steelers football team.
Hey, man, we got to run the ball. I've never seen. You know, I've been watching 37, so I've been watching football that I know in about 30 years. And knowing the Steelers team from the old AFC Central and, you know, being a rival with the Titans, I've never seen the Steelers be able to be run on like they can be ran now.
Man.
So I think, I mean, that's something that we've got to get. Now, again, you don't know the injury situation with our running backs. I mean, this is one of them games that you really wish we had the King back there, because I think he could do some damage with them. So that's going to be the key to me, is if we can get one of these running backs going, to get them going. Outside of that, you know, who can we block TJ Watt? I thought Quisenberry probably had his worst game of the year today.
Well, we don't know
on that right side, and we don't know the extent of his injury, because he
hurt.
did get. Yeah, he did get hurt Thursday night. So, but if he's in there, their front seven, they got Casey Hayward, I think, still in the in the front. So their front seven still is something to deal with. I think on the defensive side of the ball for us, this is where we get challenged. We know Big Ben is not mobile at all. So this is a game where I don't think we got to bring pressure. And I know our front four played well today, but I think this is a game where we should see more blitz from that standpoint, just to get Big Ben, just to have him uncomfortable, because as quiet as it's kept, I think that the skill players of the Steelers can challenge our DBs. And I don't want our DB. That's not a matchup that our DBs are winning. They're skill players against ours. So again, stop the run. They got a decent running back, but stop the run, and then we've got to light up Big Ben. Again, you saw it in that game, and somebody put it in the comments. For 80% of that game, the Steelers looked terrible, and then they turned it on in one quarter. And of course, Minnesota's going Minnesota anyway. That's a whole different story. But I think if we can run the ball on the offensive side of the ball, and then we again create pressure on Big Ben, then I like our chances with that. And then you hope that we get, you know, I think the only one eligible to come back this week should be Bud. If they decide to put him back. So if you can get Bud back, you know he's itching to get back to play at this game against his old team. So if you can get him back and really get that line going. But this is one of them games that has, we talked about Jeff Fisher ball earlier. This definitely is set up to be a Jeff Fisher type ball game, slugfest, 13-10 type game, and you just want to be on the right side of it. So
hey, G, before you get yours, man, let me get these score updates. So the Bucks and the Bills in overtime, 27-27. San Francisco beat the Bengals in overtime, 26-23. So the Bengals are now 7-6. And so, yeah, the Buccaneers and the Bills.
The Bills had their wake-up call, huh?
Right. In overtime, Tampa Bay has the ball, 7 minutes and 45 minutes left. And Tampa Bay is driving the ball. Actually, they just got the 1st and 10 at their own 15. So now, and down to the 35. So 20-yard play, Tom Brady to Mike Evans. So, yeah. And there we go. Just like that, man. That whole playoff scenario could change, that quick. Right. And somebody mentioned it. Nobody wants to see the Colts in the playoffs. Not right now.
Not right now.
No,
and definitely not us. And so, G Witt, talk to me about these Steelers, man.
Well, I'm gonna look at. Here's my take on the Steelers. First of all, throw out the game from last Thursday. That's not who you're going to see. Right. Tomlin's not going to allow that to happen again. So we'll see some changes there. Whether or not TJ Watt plays, he reaggravated his groin injury. And I think they just shut him down just to try to preserve him. So it's still going to be a little bit tender, but he's playing. That. Offensively, we got to score, man. We simply have got to score.
Got to.
I mean, when you go back, the 2 games we lost to Houston and to the Patriots, we only scored 13 points. Today,
20.
but for a freak of nature, we would have only scored 13 points. We got to start scoring, and however means necessary. Running the ball, throwing the ball, whatever the case may be, we got to score. I agree with you, J. Lou, on the pass rush. It's got to be there because Claypool, Washington, Johnson, and Najee Harris, they're gonna wear us out with the passing game and everything. And the only thing we got going for us, and Pittsburgh is in pretty decent shape, is that what Ryan Clark said about Claypool this past week. You don't know if that's going to resonate with him and he's going to change his ways, or if he's just going to be a bigger knucklehead when he's out there on the field. I'm sure Tomlin's addressing that one also. But this is going to be a tight game. I agree. It may end up being a slugfest, but it won't matter if we can't score. And right now, we can't score. That's, to me, we got a defense, we got an offense that can't score. Right. And we got an offensive coordinator that doesn't know how to create plays for us to score. Man, that's the problem.
Man, I know. That was one thing that I was going to mention when we talked about the offense, is that he does not know how to scheme his guys open. No, at all. No. And I'm like, you've got to know how to do that. You've got to know that I got a Hall of Fame receiver out there. I've got to be able to scheme him open. I've got to be able to get him open and get him more than 6 targets, right? He should have had at least 10 targets today.
12.
Right? At least 12, 10 to 12, 10 the minimum, right? Let that man eat. You know what I'm saying? Let him eat. Eddie Gray says Pittsburgh has been playing like this all season. G-Wit, this is who they are, and he's right. They've been playing up and down. They kind of remind you of the Titans.
Coming off a bye after getting embarrassed on national TV. I'm telling you, man.
But still, think about it.
Tomlin's Tomlin's like Vrabel, man. I'm telling you that they're the same type of coaches, man. They're going to make changes and adjust. Now, can we go up there and win? Absolutely. Absolutely, I think we can. But if we can't score, it ain't going to matter what we do.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. But I think he's just saying it's just how they up and down, inconsistent. They don't forget they had a tie with the Detroit Lions, probably the worst football team in the NFL. Yeah, so I know. They're the same. It's the same as you got used to with these Titans here not too long ago. Up and down, losing games they shouldn't be losing, and then winning the games that they shouldn't be winning. But anyway, Big Ben has thrown for over 3,000 yards. He's been sacked 30 times, so there's potential there, right, to attack that offensive line. Najee Harris, 873 yards rushing. And then, like you mentioned, G-Wit, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, they got some receivers on the outside. One thing that Pittsburgh likes to do, and I don't know if anybody noticed it, because I watched that Thursday night game, they like to throw a lot of go routes. They like to throw the long ball, and they'll just throw it up and let their guys go get it. And so, to your point,
and our DBs like to be in, they like to be in chase mode,
right? Yeah. And so, you think about it today, we got lucky. Trevor Lawrence overthrew. I can't remember who was on the coverage. It was Christian Fulton, I believe.
It was Fulton.
It was Fulton. Now, to be fair to Fulton, just a little bit, he obviously borrowed Jack Rabbit's cleats. Because he was having some serious footing. He was having some footing issues out there today.
Right. He did. He had some issues, but he couldn't stay up for nothing. Like, come on, bro. What's wrong with your feet? You're right. But it's gonna be a tough game. And we got to get out to Big Ben. Can't let him sit in the pocket all day. Dion, your question about his innocence, he's got 7 interceptions on the year, Big Ben. And so, like I said, but 30 sacks, we can get to him. There's opportunity there for the defense and a big, and they do have a good tight end. Taylor, you're right. His name is Furmuth or something like that. He's a rookie. And, he's a good receiver tight end.
He's the type of tight end that's going to give us fits. I'm here to tell you right now.
Oh, yeah, because he's athletic. He can catch the ball. He can block.
And he can block well.
Yeah, he does a lot. He's out of Penn State. He does a good job for him, man.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a tough matchup. Like I said, they got weapons. Don't sleep on these Steelers. They got weapons.
Yeah.
They could give us problems. And then you still got Devin Bush. You got those guys, Mika Fitzpatrick on the defensive side of the ball, Haywood. And so you got guys that are still, even if Watt doesn't play, which I doubt it, you still got guys that can make plays on both sides of the ball. I think what we could take an advantage of is the run game, like you guys mentioned, and our pass rush. We can get to Big Ben because he's gonna hold that ball. He still Big Ben likes to hold that ball to the last minute, and then there's opportunity there.
This is a game where your MVP Autry and Simmons gonna be the game breakers because Big Ben's not, again, as I said, he's not mobile. So if you get him, if you pressure him right up the middle in his face, that's where he has the most of the turnovers in. I mean, we've seen what Big Jeff is doing to grown men. So if he can do that to that Steelers offensive line, then, I like our chances.
And plus, you got to look at it from this standpoint, too. And chances are Bud Dupree will probably be playing. So that in itself is gonna benefit and elevate the pass rush. And you never know. We may, we don't know what's going to happen with David Long, if he's coming back or not.
Yeah.
And you don't know about Zach Cunningham yet.
I would say we should have Cunningham this week, I would think.
A
limited snap count anyway, right? Right.
I'm anticipating, but again, I just go back to this anemic offense. If we can't score it, and all the defensive help we got in the world ain't gonna matter.
That's true.
We can't score.
Yeah. That's true.
We got an offense that's really averaging 11 points a game.
Yeah, you think about it, they had 26 against the Rams. That was the first full game after the Henry injury, right? 34 against the Colts in overtime. So you had 26 against the Rams. You had 23 against the Saints. You had 13 against the Texans, and then you had 20 today. So
you had 13
against the
Patriots.
Yeah, the Patriots too. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So like I said, the last three games offensively, when you stop and think about it, they're only averaging, like I said, maybe 11, 12 points a game. You can't win many football games like that.
AJ's eligible to come back after Pittsburgh, right?
Right.
So it's one more. Yeah.
For the Thursday night game.
The 49ers game is when we'll see him. Somebody was asking that was Taylor. And so, but what you saw today too, fellas, out of this defense, and I go back to it, is with the play of Roberson. You saw Danico get back in his three, not his three technique, but his 9 technique in the defense.
Again, the first play of the game, he was in that technique.
That's what I'm saying. And so, to your point about Bud Dupree coming back and providing that presence, now you put Danico back in his natural position. He's not out playing outside rush. He's interior on the tackle, inside the tackle. Giving the guard fits.
Yeah,
and everything works. And like I told y'all this week, during the week. Now, I don't know if Golden Tate's out of shape. I don't know if he's having a hard time picking up the playbook, which he shouldn't be.
This is a mystery.
It is
when he comes back, there's the slot receiver that we've been missing. I'm telling you. You get him healthy with AJ Brown and Julio Jones, and I told J. Lou that he's going to be the Danico signing for the offense.
But will this NFOC use them?
That's another question. We're going to talk about that another show. With another show, man. Don't ruin my high as we get ready to get off.
No, I am not going to let that go. The past 3 games have shown this Joker he's regressed completely. And Derrick Henry going down, I was thinking the bye week he would do better. He
came back terrible.
He came back worse.
There's no creativity with this offense. There's none. There's none. Everybody knows what we're going to do. Run, pass. And then I'm going to run the tight formation. Run, pass. Tight formation. Run, pass.
Yes. He won't run play action on first down. He'll wait till you get no yards on first down. Then he's going to try to run play action.
Guess what? Nobody's biting on that on second and long.
Weak play action.
Who does that?
It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
I agree with you, Mr. Gray. He says the Patriots game was an anomaly, and we turned the ball over twice inside the third. I think we beat the Patriots if we're healthy.
If we're healthy, yeah.
I think we smack them. You talking about 200 yards rushing?
Yeah, that is a whole different game.
We're healthy. I mean, that game, we're not even talking about them in first place today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Whatever.
But anyway, man, we appreciate y'all again joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Check us out next weekend Two-Tone Blue takes on the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field at 12 o'clock noon. Be sure y'all check them out, man. It's going to be a tough football game. It's going to tell us a lot. You know, we Julio week 2 back after the injury, and we'll see. Can this run game get going? Like Dalvin Cook cooked. He cooked on the Steelers last week. Cooked on Thursday night.
But the holes, but the thing about the holes they were making, man, they were running Mack trucks through those holes, man. That's what I was saying. I couldn't. That's the first time I've seen a Steeler defense that couldn't stop the run.
And see, here's the thing, and this goes back to the week before this is for the Vikings, Mike Zimmer. This goes back the week before when they lost to Detroit on that Hail Mary when they shouldn't have lost that game because they had all the DBs in the end zone. And you run a curl route in front of the goal line, and you get he gonna get fired because he shouldn't have there's no way you let Pittsburgh come back in that football game when you dominate the game like that.
But the thing about it, even in that game, man, they didn't adjust. You know your man is getting cooked, getting just blasted by Claypool, and you give him no help over the top.
That's what I'm saying. And guess what? He calls the defense. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, that's what it is.
He's done.
They get the moving. You're giving up these. You're playing this again, and we saw it with us today, playing this soft coverage where you're lining up 8-10 yards off the line of scrimmage. All Pittsburgh was doing was taking everything underneath and then running out of bounds. So because you're so deep, you can't come up and tackle.
You run I forgot to mention. I'm right, guys. You about to know. You run a cover 0 blitz. Even if you disguising it, right? You're gonna drop somebody back, but you got your DBs 8 yards off the ball.
8 yards off the ball.
So guess what? I'm gonna run a 5-yard slant, and I'm gonna catch the ball and get another 5 for a first down.
Doesn't do.
I was like, look, don't be afraid of getting cooked when you go on cover 0 because you're selling out. So you press. You press the throw, right? You press. Make the quarterback hold the ball for just another second, and he's sacked. Because we're gonna bring more than they can block. I'm telling you. But they brought 7 one time and dropped one back and made it 6. They brought 7 engaged and one of them dropped off. So
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, again, thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Halftime Adjustments. Excuse me. Catch us next Sunday. We'll be back. Y'all know the time. Y'all know the place. Look out for it. Titans versus the Steelers on the road. Two-Tone Blue. Talking about that dub. That's it. G with J. Lou. Y'all know who I am. We are out of here, man. Peace.